Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. In today's episode of Real Estate Investing, you'll learn 7 tips to know before investing in real estate. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. Thank you. Okay, team, so let's take a look at this. There's different things that you really want to know before you get involved in real estate investing. And first of all, these 7 tips that I'm going to go over right now are going to comprise some do's and some don'ts of what you need to know as you plan out your real estate investing career or your real estate investing portfolio. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first thing that you want to do is actually have a business plan. You know, you wouldn't go into starting up another small business without having a business plan. If you do, then you become a statistic that likely fails in 3 to 5 years after opening the doors, you're closing the doors and getting rid of everything. Let's make sure that's not you with your real estate investing career or any other business that you do. So plan out your financial goals, plan out your business plan, and when we're talking specifically about your financial goals, determine how much money you need to be able to retire and live the way that you want. Real estate investing done correctly will provide a passive income flow if you're a landlord of different properties. So let's make sure that you do this right and you plan it out every step of the way. So start with recognizing the need to do your business plan now, and also recognizing realistic financial goals of what you need to be able to live on to retire, okay? So the second thing that you don't want to do is actually spending a lot of money on like seminars, education, training, books, Audible books, what have you, and then essentially letting them collect dust on the library shelf or something. I mean, what good is that going to do for you if you're not absorbing the information and reading the information and doing your due diligence and putting your action into what your thoughts are? Thoughts without action are worthless. Thoughts with action become powerful. Let's ensure that you're powerful by putting your thoughts into action, by researching what you're learning right now and researching how best to succeed as a real estate investor, so that whenever you do that, you'll be able to have a successful real estate investing career. The third thing is to make sure that you're looking at a lot of different types of properties. I mean, just don't go look at one property and say, I want to buy it. You know, if it works out that way that it's a gem, hey, great. But normally before you can learn whether a property is a gem or not, you've got to see a lot of properties and know what's the charcoal. And even with charcoal, if you put it underneath enough pressure, you can get a diamond. But at the same time, you have to be able to identify whether you're looking at a gem, a diamond, or a piece of charcoal, or if it's just an all-out turd that ain't going to get any better, and it's only going to get smellier and worse along the way. So make sure that you're not enticed because something looks nice by cap rate or looks nice by the price. I see a lot of investors specifically, they look at the price of a property, or somebody agrees to sell them a property for what seems to be a smoking low rate. You contact them later and you ask them how things are going. Andrew, you know, it's just so frustrating. It costs so much money. We had to replace the roof. We had to redo the plumbing. We had foundation issues that we didn't know about. Why do you think they were selling it for such a dirt cheap price? Try to tell people this up front, and people are going to do what people do. And that's why you're here today, is to learn what to do and how to do it and how to plan out your success before putting a single penny into a property to become a real estate investor. So good on you, by the way. The fourth thing that you don't want to do in this case is you do not want to postpone your investment program after you've done your business planning, okay? You don't want to postpone your investing strategy waiting for rainbows and unicorns along the way, waiting for that beautiful sweetheart deal where everything was just perfect. A better deal might just come around a corner. You know, you see this a lot with home buyers sometimes, where they see a property and they have like commitment issues or something. If you're going to get into real estate investing, or if you're going to buy a home, you've either got to handle your business or get out of the way for someone who is going to handle the business. So let's make sure that you're like, bam, ready to go. You know, you don't need to go buy the first property by any means. You should be looking at myriad different properties and identifying whether you want residential real estate, do you want multifamily real estate, do you want commercial real estate, industrial real estate, office real estate, or land. I mean, you got to identify, or maybe a mixture of all of them, but you got to identify what you're going to be investing in and not getting into a trapped mindset where you never take a step forward. You're wanting for that perfect deal. And hey, the perfect deal may come around for you at some point, but most deals aren't going to be the perfect deal if it even really exists after all. I mean, rainbows, unicorns, we know rainbows exist, but unicorns, you know, I haven't seen one lately, have you? Just saying. So the fifth thing that you want to do is to do a thorough financial analysis. So with a thorough financial analysis, I'm going to share 6 things that you really want to bottom line these numbers on whenever you're looking at possible investment property. Number one, you always want to be realistic, and you want to keep different alternatives to determine which makes the most financial sense to you and your investment risk and your investment comfort as far as different type of properties are concerned, and to never buy a property at a higher price or less attractive terms than your analysis makes sense. Now, speaking of these analyses making sense, I have had phone conversations with some would-be investors. They attend a seminar and they say in the seminar, and they even sent me the worksheet, and I just said I can appreciate it. I didn't disbelieve you to begin with, but these workshops are saying, oh, you got to get a property 40% less than the cost of the home, and after you renovate it, it's got to be within 40% less. And I'm thinking to myself, really? Where the heck are you going to get yourself a property for 40% less than the list price whenever we're talking about a seller's market across the board, no matter what market you're looking at or what segment of real estate you're looking at, whether it be land, whether it be commercial, industrial, office space, residential, multiplexes? Really, get real. And learn to identify things based upon capitalization rate. Learn how to identify things off these 6 tips I'm going to give you right now, because the most important figures that you should know are going to be the net income relevant to the expense of the property. The second one is cash flow, which is the net income and debt financing payments, right, divided by the debt financing payments. The third one is your return on investment, often called ROI, which is your cash flow divided by the investment, right? Your capitalization rate, which I just made a video the other day about, and I'll make sure that I put the card up throughout this video as well for you to refer back to so you can learn how to use the capitalization rate, which is the net income and divided by the property price, right? Cash on cash return, cash flow divided by investment, right? And your total return on investment, total return divided by investment. So these are 6 things. So just a really quick rundown again: net income, cash flow, return on investment, cap rate, cash on cash, and total ROI. Those are the 6 main factors that you need to know and be aware of as you're factoring out your business plan for your real estate investment goals. The 6th thing that you don't want to do is to buy a property if the seller's not motivated, or if the seller's just never going to be motivated. I mean, this is the same thing that we deal with, that I deal with as a professional trusted real estate advisor. You know, I always tell my agents, I share with other agents around the country, and buyers that are looking to buy a home, and other agents here locally too. And I said, look, you can't make someone motivated. Someone's either motivated or they're not. Either someone really wants to sell their house or they don't. You know, part of this being a free country, which is great and all, but sometimes people go out there and they do stupid things like list a home when they have no intention of selling it unless they hit a certain price, and that certain price is like bat crap crazy for the market. It's just way too high and they're never going to get it. Maybe in 20 years they might. I mean, I've seen that, and it just doesn't make sense why those properties are even on the market, frankly. That's a different story. Now, if a seller's not motivated, in other words, they've been on the market for like, let's say 6 months or 10 months, and they haven't made a single price reduction. Let's say the property's listed like $300,000, right? And they've not made a single price reduction, price adjustment, or anything, there's a problem. That seller is probably one of those bat crap crazy people we were just talking about a moment ago. At least we have bat crap crazy ideas, or just don't know any better. I don't know. I don't want to call anyone out or say anything bad about anyone. At the same time, the shoe fits, it fits, right? So don't think that you're going to go get a sweetheart of a deal on it. Now, if you see a property that's been on the market for the same period of time, 6 months, 10 months, or something like that, and you're seeing them make these price reductions, and we're not talking about stupid price reductions where you see $5 or $100. $5 and $100 might be a chunk of change at some places, and for some things, $100 might get you a pretty good something. Like $100 for a dinner, that's a pretty good amount of money for dinner. $5 for a candy bar, that must be a very good candy bar. But when it comes to real estate, it's nothing. We're dealing in thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and millions of dollars. $500 ain't nothing if you see that as a price reduction. You need to see a meaningful price reduction, something that's a minimum of 1% of the sales price, preferably anywhere between 2.5% and 5% price reductions over time on a property, and then that's going to indicate that seller really has a need to sell. They might not want you to know so much, but they have a need to sell. Otherwise, they would not be trying to align their pricing strategy with what the market is giving them as information in terms of buyers that are wanting to make an offer on the property. That could be the perfect situation to finding a unicorn of a deal, if such a thing exists. But that could be that situation that you keep an eye on, and you go after that one, because you can find yourself a motivated seller, get a price for a good price on a property, and be able to rent it out or flip it, whatever you choose to do with it, right? So there's some other things that you can take a look at to know what's going on as well, by attending open houses or looking for vacant and unattractive properties that are for sale. Vacant or unattractive, I mean, if it's an ugly house, then hey, the owner of that property is going to have to come to terms with that or fix it up. And likely they don't want to go through the hassle of fixing it up. So you might get some chances with some unattractive and ugly properties out there. Spreading the word about yourself and letting real estate agents know, get involved with your real estate investment association and your local real estate investment association, and let them know who you are and what you're looking to do, and make it happen that way. And then getting old-fashioned and just looking around in the classifieds or online classifieds, or again, the best source of information here is really going to be your trusted real estate advisor. Get linked up with some information about probate sales, withdrawn listings or expired listings, different sources of business there, or for sale by owners. There's a lot of different opportunities there. So get with a trusted real estate advisor, define a plan. Going back to point one, having a business plan and your financial goals realistically set, using your SMART goal system, being specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. Now, the seventh thing that you want to do, and this is the last point today, the seventh thing that you want to do is know the difference between real estate investing and the business of real estate. Now, you're probably wondering, well, Andrew, if I'm a real estate investor, do I need to know the business of real estate? Yes and no. Look, if you're going to be a real estate investor, what you don't need to do is worry about all the different transaction things and all the mundane stuff that goes into the transaction. What you do need to do is focus on executing your business plan by having the right people in place, getting ready to flip that property if that's what you're going to do, or get ready to rent out that property and do whatever repairs you need to do prior to renting it as soon as you close on that property. That's what you need to be focused on. Let us trusted real estate advisors focus on the assisting you of finding the right properties, sending them to you for your review, you working your numbers and seeing if it makes sense to your situation or not, with your business plan or not, and let us focus on the more mundane stuff while you focus on what you got to get accomplished by either setting up property management or getting ready to flip that property. And don't confuse something, and there's something that you don't want to confuse, especially getting started or before you get started in the real estate investing, is you have a job right now. Either you're W-2 or maybe you're self-employed, maybe you're an entrepreneur now. Keep your bread and butter taken care of first. Take care of your bread and butter. Don't go all out on this something right away until you're ready to go all out on something right away. That's where it really comes down to. Know the difference between being an investor and owning a business. I mean, if you want to own a business and investor, cool. Knock yourself out. But if you want this as passive income, then know how to separate yourself from an investment standpoint to a business owner standpoint. They are two different thought processes, and they are two different things that will impact your life in better or worse ways depending on how you handle it. So, tell me what was most impactful to you in this video. This is the really fun part for me. I get to hear your feedback and what you're thinking and what you got from this video. Tell me in the comment section below which one of these 7 points were the most significant to you to know before you get into real estate investing. Was it number 1, doing your business plan and being honest about your financial goals? Was it number 3, which is making sure that you're looking at a lot of different types of properties and understanding the different types of real estate available to you? Or perhaps it was number 7, with simply needing to know the difference between the investor mindset and a business owner mindset. Tell me what you're thinking about it, along with any of your tips you'd like to share before investing in real estate, in the comment section below. I'm going to go ahead and put my contact information up. If you want to reach out to me, say hi, or if you need help finding a top agent where you live, cool, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be able to help. And between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. See you soon.